Hi everyone, it's Jama Malmy here, and today I want to just show you how I put my photos into a photo collage before printing them to get the most out of a 4x6 print and to get smaller size photos than a 4x6 to use on your layout. So I'm going to show you how I use my phone, an app in my phone, to do that first, and then I'm going to show you how I print them at home on my Selphy printer. Now you don't need to do this on your Selphy printer. You can send these as 4x6 prints to get developed at your normal photo printing place. But I have found that printing them at home on demand, even though the cost per print is more expensive, it ends up saving me more money in the long run because I'm only printing exactly what I need. So anyways, I'm just going to jump right into it here. So for this layout I'm going to be doing now, I'm doing a hiking trip that I did with my family. And all of these photos I've already put as my favorite. And so I'm in my favorites album on my iPhone. And this is all the photos I want to use. They just so happen to, all but one, be portrait orientation. So they're up and down. So I know that I want to plan my layout accordingly. I'm going to back out of here. And I use this app right here called PicFrame. And I've tried some other collage apps. What I found about this one is that the output is high res, so it's high enough resolution to actually print. Some of the collage apps on the market are geared toward if you're making a collage for like Instagram or Facebook and you're just going to be uploading it to the web. But this is for print. So it outputs at a high resolution. So this is a collage I did earlier. That it didn't clear out. So what I'm going to do first is you've got these up here in the corner, you've got these different options for the ratio. So the 1x1 obviously is a square. We're going to want the 3x2 or the 2x3 depending on if we are doing vertical photos or horizontal photos. Since we are doing vertical photos, I'm going to choose a 2x3 landscape orientation, and you'll see why in just a minute. So now we're in landscape orientation, and we want the two photos, because I'm going to be doing two 3x4 photos, we want them to be side by side. So I'm going to choose this layout, and you'll see now you've got two portrait orientation photos there on your template. Now we don't want borders to print, or at least I don't. If you want, you can leave the border, and the way you adjust the border is here under style. I'm going to tap that. You can make them thick borders if you want. You can change the colors. I'm going to take out the border completely, so move it all the way to the left and then just tap out of there. So now I'm going to choose my photos I'm going to use. I'm going to go to my camera roll, and then I'm going to choose my favorites because I've got all the ones I want to print already in my favorites. You can add like sometimes I'll scrapbook from way far back, and so even if they're in my favorites, I would have to scroll a long ways to get to them. So you can create albums too. So I do that a lot if I'm, let's say, so I've got one here for print. I've got one here for Oslo, which is my dog that had passed away, and I did a layout for him, and so I could just go to this album for Oslo and choose all the ones that I want for Oslo. So you can put them all in an album first. This hike just happened to be last weekend, so it's already at the bottom of my favorites, and so I know that I want to print all of these as 3x4, so I'm just going to go through and choose two at a time. So we've got this one. There's actually one of them. This one I'm going to do as a 4x6. So until I get to that one, I'll just choose two at a time. I'm going to hit done. And then the other great thing about doing it this way is you can zoom, you can crop, so you can have the photo exactly how zoomed in you want for your layout. So like if you were to just quickly print all these as 4x6 and you're going to cut them down to 3x4, it might not always be zoomed in exactly where you want it. So this way you have complete control. So that one looks good, and Let's see, I think this one I'm gonna have her a little bit closer here. There. So something to keep in mind if you're going to be printing on a Selphy printer at home, or if you're going to be printing it elsewhere, is with the Selphy, this is the only thing that bugs me about the Selphy. It doesn't bug me enough to not use it because I like the convenience of it, and the color that comes out of the Selphy printer is the best that I've found of any small portable photo printer. So to me, it's not enough to not use it. However, just keep in mind that when you're using the Selphy, it's not a true 6-inch length. You've got the true 4-inch width, but the length is going to be cut short just a little bit of 6 inches. Not much, but it's like 5 7/8 inches, I would say, is the finished size. So just keep in mind as you're doing this that you want a little bit of extra room on the outsides, so that your photo is centered or positioned the way that you want it. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. If you're going to be sending these off to get printed at a photo printer, you don't have to worry about that. So now what I'm going to do is hit share and save. And it'll just take a minute. It'll take a few seconds. Usually it's much quicker than this. There we go. And it's saved. So now it's saved to your camera roll as your most recent photo. So now you don't even have to go out of this. You just go right back, just tap on the photo right there, and this menu pops up. You can do other things like rotate and mirror it. You can turn it into a shape. You can do other effects, like change it to grayscale or sepia, or this is aqua. There's some other filters on here if you want. I never do that. I edit my photos before I get to this point, so I don't worry about that. So you just go back to the camera roll, go to the favorites, and I'm going to choose the next two. Let's see, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to do this one and this one. Hit done. And again, I can zoom to exactly where I want. My little excited guy running across the bridge. And there's me looking at my phone at the picture I just took from the other angle. And then this was a really pretty scenery shot. I'm just going to leave that as is. There. Hit share, save. As you get going, this is really fast. You could, like if you're going to a crop or something, or you're planning all your layouts in advance, you could do this all in advance and get them all developed somewhere, and you're all ready to go. It just takes a little bit of planning if you're not going to be printing at home. Let's do the next ones. Same process. So I think you get the point now. Oh, let me show you this that comes up for me sometimes. Now, in this particular photo, I have more room on this side than I do this side. I don't want it getting any closer to my daughter's head if it actually accidentally gets cut off. So this is my trick. Tap, rotate mirror, and I am going to turn it upside down. And then I like to look at it front ways. Then I know that it's going to crop from this side. So if you're using the Selphy printer, that's just a little tip there, so you know that it's not going to get too close to your image. This one, it doesn't really matter. If you want them both to face the same way, you can go ahead and rotate it, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just go ahead and do that. And there we go. So share, save. You get the point now. So I'm not going to do any more. What I am going to do is now print it to my Selphy printer. And I'm going to go right into my photos. I'm not going to go to my favorites. I'm going to go to all photos because the ones I just saved are not in my favorites yet. So I'm just in my Photos app now. I've connected my Selphy printer to my Wi-Fi network, and I'm connected on my Wi-Fi network on my phone. They both have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network for this to work. So you're just going to hit this little arrow down here, just like if you were going to share it to a message or mail or anything like that. And then you've got this option here for print. It's recognizing the Canon CP910. I have the older model of the Selphy. This one isn't even available anymore. There's newer ones on the market. So it found it via Wi-Fi, and you can do more than one copy if you want. This color, you can choose black and white through this option if you want, if you didn't do it through the Collage app. And then the paper is a postcard because that's what comes on the Selphy. So I'm not going to mess with that. Everything is fine. And I am just going to hit print. And then it's going to take a minute to think. Give it a little room. I think this model is a little bit slower than the newer models, so this will take a minute. I've actually been contemplating if I want to get a newer model. I haven't been sold on it yet. I don't think it's different enough yet for me to upgrade. But the newer ones are a little bit bigger. They are probably about $110, I think, $108, kind of depends how you hit it on Amazon. You can find them on Best Buy. I actually got this at Best Buy on a really good sale. And I just love this. I think the color turns out really great. I read a lot of reviews before I invested in this, and I read reviews on Amazon and on some other websites, and people are saying that this just has really good color, and I agree. So you'll watch it go through the different colors. First it does the yellow, then it does the magenta. It's kind of fun to watch. Then it does the cyan. See it start to come to life. And then it does a clear coat. And what the clear coat does is it kind of like laminates it, like seals it all together. So there's no wet ink. It's completely dry, smudge proof, and also archival quality when it's done. So now you see what I mean, how there's this extra little bit that gets cut off. So that's what you do for each print. And then the one that I'm going to print 4x6, it'll just print 4x6. It won't be a collage. So then what I do to cut this is I can't tell you how much I love this little photo trimmer. It's probably one of my favorite tools ever right now. It is, it's made by Fiskars. I haven't seen it anywhere else except for Close to My Heart just started offering it. I think Creative Memories used to have something similar, but it didn't have all the measurements on here. But it's lightweight. It's easy to transport if you're going to a crop or whatever. It's easy just to move around your desk. So, and since it's a guillotine trimmer, guillotine style, it's a really sharp blade. It's self-sharpening. You never have to sharpen it. And it will cut off even just the tiniest little sliver. So go buy this trimmer, please. If you scrapbook, you need this. It is so awesome. So anyways, you can, since it's perforated, just go like this. And if you're doing a 4x6, that's all you need to do. But it bugs me that there's just that little perforation mark. I like a really clean cut. So what I do is I don't even mess with that. And I just put it in there and trim. Look at the tiniest little sliver. The tiniest little sliver that cuts off so cleanly. My 12-inch paper trimmer does not do that. And then I do the other side, and I just cut right on the inside of that perforation line so I don't have that perforation. And then, since you can see exactly where this is going to cut, you just need one cut in the middle. Oh, I was a little bit off. I'm actually going to reprint this now because I got it crooked. But I could go back in and fix this one. and you've got your 3x4 photos. So it's that easy to print your own 3x4 photos at home. The other option you have, I mean options, there's tons of options in this app. So if you go back to all of these frame options, if you wanted to do 2x3 photos, you can go back up here, and if you wanted to do the portrait orientation of the 2x3 photos, then they would all be the portrait orientation if you wanted that. What this would be good for is, say you were trying to fill a landscape 3x4 pocket, but you want to fit 2 photos on there. You can still print it like this. You cut it here, but you don't cut it here. And then that way you've got a little 2-photo collage in your pocket. And you're still fitting more photos, but you don't have to even cut it or mess with it at all. So highly recommend PicFrame. I think I got the pro version. It costs like $2.99. There is a free version. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to pull these all into a layout in another process video. So be sure to go over and check that out and see how this turned out. Thanks so much for watching today. I've linked all the products below, so be sure to check them out, and please subscribe to my channel if you liked this. Thanks and have a great day.